Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Rare Book Cafe, the book lovers' rendezvous. And I'm sorry to tell you that not only is this another edition, but it's the last edition of 2023. Yeah, we're taking a break. We're all going off in different directions. The holidays are coming up. But before we get into all of that, let me check in with my co-host, Lee Linn, and see how she's doing. Lee, you okay this week?
Hi, Ed. It's good to see you, and it's good to be back on Rare Book Cafe Coffee Break. I'm doing pretty well. Most of you know that I'm in Boston. I'm getting rehab for a very bad fall that left me with an injured arm and leg. And as of yesterday, I am going to be allowed to put some weight on those injured appendages. And hopefully by the time I get to go back to Georgia in about less than 10 days, I'll be walking some. And so that's good news. And I appreciate all of the letters and texts and phone calls and cards and flowers from so many people, not just my friends at home, but people in the book world as well. And that has been a great deal to my recovery. So I'm doing okay, and look forward to a new year of Rare Book Cafe coming up after Christmas.
Well, everybody, it has been a fabulous year. I hope you have enjoyed listening to or watching the Rare Book Cafe as much as we have enjoyed doing it. You know, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever good podcasts are given away for free. And on all of those platforms, it gives you an opportunity to write a note or make a comment. So we really appreciate you telling you what you enjoy most about the show. Personally, for me, I enjoy interviewing the authors. Come on, let's face it. The book industry doesn't go anywhere without the engine, intelligence, creativity, just the fabulousness of authors. So I think next year we ought to try and get a few more authors. What would you like to see? More bookbinders? More sharing of our books, like children's books from Larry Rakow, or maybe some of those esoteric finds that Richard Morey brings into us? Or perhaps you'd like to see more ephemera from Barbara Lee. Whatever it is, drop us a note and let us know what gives you the jollies. How about you, Lee? What's your favorite part of the shows?
One of the things that I really enjoy about both collecting and selling books are what we call association copies. For example, I had a copy of one of County Cullen's books that he had signed, having lunch with a librarian from New York at Yaddo Artist Colony. I looked her up, found her name. I don't think she was anybody particularly famous. I don't know, maybe I missed it, maybe she was. But he had put a little note on there that he had enjoyed having lunch with her. And I'm sure this was a treasured book of hers for many years. And was just such a nice association. Of course, many authors have signed books to famous people and other people in the in the book world, and those frequently bring a rather nice premium price. But I like these personal associations too. I had a menu from a restaurant in San Francisco that looked like 70-ish, but 1970s, but didn't have a date. But it was a large menu, and it had a painting on the cover. And I got in touch with the artist, and who was able to fairly closely date the menu. He had done it before he had any renown, and discovered that he had some paintings on display in museums close to my home. So I was able to go and see those. Let's see if I can adjust this just a little bit. So I think those are always fun to have. And sometimes people find books that are dedicated, are inscribed to relatives and people that they knew, and that's always a special thing to find. So that's something that I enjoy about book collecting and book selling.
Well, everybody, here I am in my last 2 weeks of apprenticeship in the beautiful city of Verona, Italy, and this is Cleo. I think you've seen Cleo on a couple previous videos. Oh, every bookstore should have a bookstore cat or a bookstore dog, and Cleo is this Legatorio's dog. So anyways, folks, we're going to be shutting down for Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, and coming back to you in early 2023. So I, for one, want to wish every single one of you a thankful Thanksgiving. There's so many things in our life, including books, to give joy for. The Festival of Lights, when we're once again thankful. And then again, Christmas. Nothing makes a better Christmas present than a book. And finally, on New Year's, I don't know about the rest of you, but I find it hard to stay up for midnight, but I have no trouble crawling between a couple of warm sheets and reading a gripping, wonderful tale and book of history and knowledge. So that's my Christmas greeting. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the best of health. Lee, why don't you take us out on what the holiday season means for you?
The holidays from before Thanksgiving until after New Year's, sometimes in January, are usually extremely hectic at my house. I start with a Christmas village of about 140 buildings, all lighted, that will not go up this year, though we may do a few when I get back to Calhoun, but not anything like the usual extravaganza. I usually host 3 or 4 dinners and luncheons, a big Christmas Eve get-together of 4 families, a extravagant gift buy on my part. I have done some shopping already, and it would not be hard for our listeners to guess what those items are that are tucked away in my closet in bags and books. Because my bags and boxes, because of course they're books. And so if nothing else, my family will be getting books this year. And I can't think of a better gift. So it's going to be different. But the good thing is I'll be at home in Calhoun after my injuries and be with my family and be with close friends in Calhoun. And looking very, very forward to that. And I think for whatever holidays you celebrate and however you celebrate them, that's the most important thing we can do, is to spend it with family and friends. And so I think we're all looking forward to that this holiday season.
All right, everybody, that wraps it up. I think that's the 35th edition of the Rare Book Cafe this year, 2023. We wish you all the best of holidays and the best of rendezvousing with books and book people wherever you may be. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can find us wherever good podcasts can be found.
I'll add my goodbyes for 2023 to Ed's, and to say how much we've enjoyed having each of you watch us, participate in the show, give us ideas for new shows, and we hope you continue to do that. As most of you know, we are sponsored by the Florida Antiquarian Book Fair and Biblio, and we'll be focusing some on the Florida show when we come back in January. And we hope it's been a joyful and thankful year for you, as it has been for us on Rare Book Cafe.
That's it, folks. Ciao.